Hey everybody, this is Erico and I'm back again. Hope you guys are doing well. A lot is going on in the world. The weather is acting like super weird still. And we have a new president of the United States that people are just having aneurysms over. Some people are happy, some people are having complete meltdowns. And this all affects the world right now. Japan is also going through this whole political process, and it's been so many people in Japan that are just completely fed up with the Democratic Party and kind of all the things that have been going on. And it also ties back to like just a lot of people worldwide being fed up with the parties and the policies and just the things that are underneath that have been going on, and people just not being satisfied. So Japan is having this problem right now with their leading prime minister. He is supposed to be the one that they elected in, and people are so just upset at the fact that he has had the lowest vote turnout of the Democratic Party in years. There has been multiple scandals within this party, from money laundering, it coming out to the public that tax dollars, that things involving like ticket sales have been given to people under the table, and then it's been swept under the rug. And so a lot of the Japanese public and the society has not been in favor of this current prime minister. He still managed to win the overall vote, and people still are very upset, but he has now won once again, and he is faced with the whole reign of Trump. And what this election result means in America, and how it also ties into the effects of Japan with the whole US-Japan alliance. And it's been a lot of talk and a lot of debate. So you can think like all of this stress would send somebody into like a state of winter sleep in a way. Cause like you thinking, you're like, oh Lord, like I gotta listen to this man, this orange, red face, fake haired man in front of me talk all this stuff. He's unpredictable. And it's like, yeah, I just want to go take a nap. Like, I'm tired of him. So the current prime minister has videos out online. The Japanese public has been having a field day with this, of him while they were giving the results of the votes. He decided that he was gonna close his eyes and nod off. And he must have forgot the camera was there. He must have forgot where he was. He was asleep.
その上で林長官は、風邪気味であることを除けば健康状態に何ら問題ないと述べました。石破総理は衆議院本会議で行われた総理大臣指名選挙で議員による記名投票が行われていた際などに目をつぶったまま下を向いて動かない場面がありました。石破総理は9日夜に都内の病院で診察を受けていて、総理周辺は風邪気味だと話していました。
And I thought I was like, him and Joe Biden have something in common. Like, they can meet up, be best friends. They probably were best friends. They probably be taking naps together. They probably see a bed, probably think of the same thing. They probably like, oh, just relaxation and sleep. Because this man was asleep. I mean, sleep. Sitting up there with all his party members sleep. And it was hilarious. I laughed to the highest of the heavens when I saw this clip. I was like, and what made it funnier was his fellow party member was looking to the side, like giving him the side eye, cutting his eye over. He was like, wake up, damn it. Wake up, what are you doing? Like, you know the camera's right there, like, they can see you. Wake up. So he was asleep. A little background information about this guy. He's really into reading. He's a very deep thinker. He's very into like military machinery. He's into like building the miniature machinery, kind of like you build like them Gundams as well. So he's really into like all of that. He's also into law. So this all kind of aided into him still getting back into being the prime minister and continuing to be the prime minister, because what happened was he had so much support, and he said that he was going to help the fellow youth with the taxes on living, because this is a big problem right now with Japanese society. The cost of living is so high, and it's kind of funny because I'm like, what's new? Like, especially like Tokyo, it's always been an issue living. Like, if you want to live well, you won't be paying some money. Japan in itself, to be honest with you, is kind of expensive, but maybe when you live in it, you're not used to how expensive it is. But like me being like an outsider looking in, it's expensive. It really is. And you have to plan accordingly if you're going to live in Japan, if you're going to really enjoy and experience Japan and be comfortable in Japan, because it is no joke. Like, you will be paying like fees and taxes and all these different secret fees, and a lot of young people cannot afford it. And so it's getting to the point that even the middle-aged people and the people that are more established can't afford it. So this has been a constant talk of an issue. And this current prime minister said that he was going to work on it. So a lot of the youth, surprisingly, actually voted for him. And normally politics in Japan is more geared toward middle-aged people to the elderly. They're the ones that like really care. But like this time around, like, the youth came out. They really did. And the youth came out somewhat too for the American election as well. It's just that looking at this whole alliance, I don't think that this current prime minister is really prepared for what Trump is trying to do this time around. There's going to be a whole lot of talk, debate, and pushback on the alliance, and how Japan is going to have to put a little bit more into the whole military defense. And this is something that a lot of people are afraid of. Like, Trump might actually force Japan to put more money into the military's defense, and like the artillery and the soldiers, and who's over there in Japan, who's protecting Japan, and also trade. Oh, like
独自開発した第5世代ステルス戦闘機 1035A です。
最新鋭のステルス戦闘機 1035A が飛んできました。今回初めて公開されます。
中国3隻目の空母福建に搭載されるとみられる戦闘機で、ここ数年中国軍に著しい航空戦力の増強を象徴する兵器です。着々と軍備を進める中国に対し、トランプ政権はどのような立場を取るのか。アメリカメディアが気になる人事を報じています。
They flawed bipartisan consensus for almost 2 decades, and that China, once they got rich and prosperous, would become like us or more like us. And then we woke up to the reality that they steal our trade secrets, our intellectual property. They use students in our universities to spy on us and steal research. They obviously cheat on trade and on commerce. And then to top it all off, they put Muslims in work in detention camps where they re-educate them away from their identity.
中国にとって一番触れられたくない人権問題まで持ち出し、強制労働によって作られた製品の輸入を禁止する法案を提出したのがルビオ氏。
America does a lot for Japan with trade and vice versa in a way as well. And for Trump to like go and do something that will affect that might affect the overall cost of trade, the items that will be dispersed in trade, is scary. And there's a lot of world leaders that are talking about this right now because this man is so unpredictable. And this whole process is going to be such a mystery. We don't know what the result is going to be. And it's going to be very interesting to watch, to see. It's really sad because I believe that a lot of the world leaders actually wanted Trump to win. And it goes back to show why we got the result that we did. If we were to go back to the whole issue of America and this election, Kamala Harris wasn't well known enough to win. And like, even though it looked good on paper and a lot of us were rooting for her, she didn't have enough time. When Sleepy Joe was around, she wasn't even around to actually give Sleepy Joe a blanket while he was asleep. Like, we barely saw this woman. She was incognito most of the time. We saw her every now and then. And so a lot of people didn't know her. A lot of people didn't trust her. We didn't have enough time to know her. And even though, like, it's like the lesser of two evils in a way, and it's like, okay, we want her because we're tired of what we ended up getting in the long run, it just wasn't set up right. And it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And I'm not here to say which is right or wrong. Trump does get on my nerves, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a scary feeling. I'm not one to look at people be just belligerent and crazy online and screaming and shouting and pointing the finger at people who voted for him. Life goes on. I gotta pick up the pieces. We gotta pick up the pieces. It is not the time to be blaming people. Japanese society right now as well is still trying to like pick up the pieces because they have a man that is prime minister who for the most part they're not too happy with. And then we have an American president-elect once again that we're not too happy with. So it's like, what is going to happen? How does China tie into all of this? How does Russia and Ukraine and all of, it's a lot. And I think it's important that we as people watch what's going on, because we're all affected by this. It's important that you look at world news and you keep up with what's going on, because it is going to be different. Things are going to be different. So all of us, we have to plan accordingly and not be driven mad by what's going on and by politics, because us being angry and going against each other is going to make things 100 times worse. And we don't need that. We don't need that at all. Everybody stay sane, pray, hold each other, watch what's going on, and brace yourselves. It's a lot to think about. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also, my blog, The Ascension Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Comment your thoughts below.